Figures released today show that 1 in 4 children in the East Midlands is now living in poverty. A report by the End Child Poverty Coalition shows some big differences even in neighbouring constituencies. One example is in Nottinghamshire. The percentage of child poverty in Rushcliffe stands at 13%, while a few miles up the road in both Nottingham North and Nottingham East, it's 39%.
There are parts of the country with really astonishingly high levels of child poverty, and the government needs to do much more to address this. It mustn't be a lottery for children about where they live, which leads to whether or not they have a decent standard of living and decent chances in life.
Well, as the number of children in poverty in the region shows no signs of dropping, the largest Foodbank charity has revealed a significant rise in emergency parcels being given out. Here's our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Ball.
Any pets?
Today was Kirsty and Brian's second visit to the Bestwood and Bulwell Foodbank. They're unemployed and struggling to feed 3 children. The school referred them here.
I've got myself into debt with loans and now we're trying to repay them. If it wasn't for these food banks, then the kids would only be having 1 meal a day.
Without these, I think a lot of people would go without, and a lot of kids and families do suffer without the help the food banks can give them.
As they collect their food and toiletries, another couple arrives. Nicholas says he's desperate. He's been referred here by the local job centre.
The job centre stopped my money at employment support allowance because I said I was fit enough to go back to work when I'm not. So I've had to make another claim for job seekers. At the moment, we've been without money now for 3 weeks.
If it wasn't here, then we wouldn't have nothing to eat for a while. We'd just be living on mashed potatoes and chips. Being as I get milk tokens and I can get free taters with it and free milk. So all we'll be living on is chips.
This is the country's largest food bank charity, and today it's revealed how much it's helped people in the 6 months to September. More than 8,900 emergency food parcels were handed out in Nottinghamshire, along with almost 4,000 in Leicestershire and Rutland. And well over 3,000 more food parcels were handed out in Derbyshire. Across this region, that's up by 10% on the same period last year. The question is, why? Is it because there's more food available? Or is it because there are more people who are desperate for help?
These are the direct referrals to our food bank from the Department of Work and Pension.
There's no question about the answer for bosses here. Everyone they help has been sent here by the authorities because this is a last resort.
We had a mother come here recently who is already doing 2 jobs but can't afford the rent and to feed her children. We're talking about people who are in work as well as out of work, but many people have their benefits stopped for reasons which on appeal later get overturned, but in the meantime they're without any form of support.
All right then.
Nicholas and Helen know they can't keep relying on these emergency food parcels, but this is a welcome stopgap, and it means they won't go hungry tonight.
Well, Jeremy's here. So, Jeremy, clearly people are struggling in the Top Valley area of Nottingham. What's the long-term solution? Is there one?
Well, today the Trussell Trust has called for improvements to the benefit system. It says a lot of these referrals are caused by delayed payments and by recent changes. And it's suggesting today that hotlines are set up between job centres and food banks. Now, for the government's part, they say most benefit payments do get processed on time. They say there's a safety net, there are hardship payments, and it's focusing instead on making sure that we're always better off if we're in work.
Now, you're in part of Nottingham today where 4 out of 10 children are, as they put it, living in poverty. But what does that mean? What is living in poverty?
Yeah, good question. I mean, there's an official definition that looks at your household income after you've paid the rent or the mortgage. Now, if you get less than 60% of a middle-income household, your children are officially defined as poor. This is controversial. The former Minister, Ian Duncan-Smith, wanted to change that to measure life chances instead, but that provoked a lot of criticism from people who said that poverty is simply about money.
OK, thanks, Director.
Thank you.
Thank you.